Welcome everybody to episode 117 of the effing title. As
It's the
always,
Master Chief episode.
it's the Master Chief. Is that how we're labeling this?
I don't
We're
know.
kicking it off. It's the
The 117.
It's the Master Bat Chief Man episode.
I got my Master Chief socks right here.
I did want to bring up Master Chief anyway, so
Okay, yeah, sorry.
you know.
Messed up your intro.
I'm Big Husky.
I'm DeNutte.
And this is the effing title of the shit show that we all know and love, where we talk about fucking everything and anything under the sun, other than politics, religion, and other things like that. The controversial shit we don't talk about. The funny shit we talk about. Master Chief. Actually, first off, your hat.
Pizza Planet.
Pizza Planet.
Pizza Planet.
That's the very first thing I said to him, everybody, before, as soon as I saw him on camera tonight.
PAX, I went to PAX East on Friday. Today's Sunday.
I'm going to cut you off real quick. Did you happen to see the Glitch Guys?
No, I looked. I didn't know where the community. So,
Okay.
the building it was in is huge. It it was the length of the whole hall was like 2 football fields.
Holy
Probably maybe 2 to 3 football fields long, football field wide.
Oh wow.
It was, and there's just thousands of people, people everywhere. And then surrounding it, there were they had halls for like
different people.
different people doing I can't think of the word, shows.
Yeah.
More lectures. About different things. Like there's one about the history of wrestling and video games, like the woman in video games. It's all
okay.
just lectures, hour, 2 hour long lectures, Q&As, this and that.
That's kind of cool.
So I didn't go to any because I'd never been. I winged it. I went with someone else who had never been, so we just
kind of winged it, walked around. I saw if everyone that doesn't know, Glitch put up a thing saying hey, we're giving out free Glitch at this area, come by and say hi. And of course DeNutte was there. I wasn't. DeNutte knows that I'm the Glitch boy, right?
Well, I didn't see your text until an hour later, and then I was like, "Fuck, I don't know where the community." So you would ask someone where something is, and they're like, "I don't know." So it was kind of a funny thing. So you had to pick up your tickets at Will Call, and I was like, "Hey, do you guys know where Will Call is?" And they're like,
"No."
I'm like, "Okay."
You gotta love that shit, right?
Yeah. So yeah, it was fun.
Right.
No Glitch energy. I had some beers actually.
Oh, okay. Yep.
There was a special release beer only for that, so that was kind of good from New Belgium.
Okay.
An IPA also always.
We're fine with beers as well. We like beers here as well.
Like beers here as well. I bought bunch of dumb merch.
I love it.
Bought a Halo box. It came with pins.
Ooh. All right, we got the Master Chief and then what is that?
Mongoose.
Mongoose? I was gonna say Warthog, but I knew that was the wrong thing as soon as I started thinking.
Yeah, I got a mini energy sword. I'm showing up. It's show and tell right now.
I love it. This is what we're here for, man.
That's what we're here for. Dumb merch.
Yeah, exactly. I have George.
George.
We just got the new baby Glitch in. Look at this. Look at this difference, bro. Look at that.
It's a little baby. I have one of those somewhere. Same one.
Weird.
It's a blender bottle, right?
Yeah, it's weird though. I'm not sure how I still feel about it yet.
I like it because it's quick.
Well, yeah, that was my thing. But then, when so far, every time I've used, and I've only used the Nogla, the brand new flavor in it. But every time I've used it though, there's been powder in the bottom still, and I've never had that. I've never had that problem with the other ones. So
it doesn't make this
exactly.
Make it well.
That's what I'm wondering. So, but yeah, no, that's awesome. But okay, so Master Chief.
Master Chief.
Brand new episode.
It was good. It was good this week.
I was gonna say I've been seeing of course for everyone that doesn't know, DeNutte watches it. I see it on TikTok. Then we talk about it. Yeah.
Spoilers ahead.
Spoilers. Big spoilers. Flashing lights. Dude, all the clips that I've seen.
You're never gonna watch it, are you?
If I can watch it, yes.
All right. Well, I'll send you my Paramount.
Okay. Well, we gotta watch out because Netflix, is doing that whole, fucking slash down. We gotta, be careful.
Which, I mean, I share my Netflix with one person, which is and it's already so expensive.
Everything that I've seen though, clip wise, this episode looked awesome. This episode looks like exactly what you would want from a Halo series. But then also, it's one of those things as well where, like, I started thinking about it. If you had a series that was just nothing but, like, that, I feel like that would get boring very quickly. Like, I like the fact that there's lore-based. I like the fact that there's a story going on to an extent, because we've talked about it. It may not be the story that we know, but still there's a story nonetheless. But, like intimating the story with that...
To an extent, because I think... What episode was this? It was... I'm looking up right now.
6 or 5?
I think it was 6.
Okay, so what, halfway through the season?
I think more than halfway through.
Really? I thought it was... Oh, no, wait. Was this... Is this... No, wait. I might be
There's 9 episodes.
Okay, yes, I'm getting stuff mixed up then.
So, yeah, there was... actually, it was episode 5. So the weird thing is that, like, you go... Episode 1 opens with action, and then there's not another gun fired until episode 5.
Yeah, see, that's too long.
It was too big. Oh, there's one episode where a guy executed someone.
Yes,
I don't really count that.
No,
the Master Chief threw a pistol at a grunt.
Bro, that was the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Master Chief threw a banshee at a wraith.
I did like the fact that he picked up
dropship.
That they had the OG shotgun.
Yeah.
OG broken OP shotgun in there. That was cool. I did like the fact that, like, they had the Jackals with the energy swords, and everyone online is like, "That's not a thing that happened," and then immediately, like, the Halo community is like, here's this comic where actually it does happen. It's just that it's actually a sword, like an actual sword, not like a energy sword. Like, they have their own special versions, but they're doing this, so, like, shut your fucking mouth. Like, I saw like 7 in 1 hour.
I saw it. I went like, I don't remember that being a thing, but I mean, why wouldn't it be?
Right? But that's the thing, right? It's like, I saw it and I'm like, oh, that's fucking cool. Like, they brought in the energy source. I was like, that's the non-Halo guy. I'm like, that's fucking cool. And then, I saw like 3 TikToks in like the matter of like a 10-minute span that are all like, actually shut your fucking mouth, Halo haters, just for the clout.
There was like a comic book where it had it in it.
Yeah, and it was like, and it looked like
it was actually the same exact thing.
Yeah,
it was like picture.
I'm sitting there like, that's fucking dope. Like, I thought it was they had the fucking grunt shoot the dude and then dive in and start driving the fucking.
Well, it's the first episode we had grunts and jackals.
Yeah,
and a brute.
There was a brute, right? Yeah,
a brute very briefly, but actually, like, the way they showed it, I was like, it might be, my opinion, the coolest version of a brute shown.
Okay.
Like, it looked cool.
Yeah,
so like when you look
he
at
beat
concept art,
he beat the shit out of, like, oh my.
He hit him with a gravity hammer once, and then he ran away.
Mm-hmm. So what do I need, man?
So if you look at concept art of brutes, they look real cool, and then the brutes in game, you're like, nah, whatever, they're just big.
Yeah.
But like way he stood, like the way his body was shaped, that was like straight concept art.
It was very like it's hard to get that intimidation factor almost over.
Yeah.
And when I was watching it, when he first comes down, and he kind of like does like the typical kind of like anime big guy, like, kind of shoulders back, like, I'm fucking here now. That I was like, oh my god, like, holy, like, okay, no idea what's going on, but fuck.
There was something that made me laugh though, is that there was a whole thing about like them not being on their meds and him being emotional, and he saved another Spartan, but like he beat an elite to death.
Yeah, he fucking beat the shit out of him, right? Like,
but like while he was doing it, they're like, John, no. I'm like, well, he was gonna kill him anyways. Like, why are you getting mad that he beat him to death? I don't know. Like, it was like how like movies, like there's a school fight or a fight, and they're like, someone's like losing their mind and they're just beating up a guy, and they're like, oh my god, stop. It was like one of those scenes. It kind of felt weird, but I was happy that we had some action.
Yeah, it was, and it was one of those things where I was like, I'm happy for you, because of course, like I said, I'm the outsider. I'm happy for the Halo community that is wanting the show to do well, and the Halo community, because I feel like that was the perfect fucking kind of like, it's like, okay, we fucked with you enough with lore for the last couple bits. Here's 10 minutes of just fucking cum in your pants.
Yep.
Have fun.
It came a little bit, but
the fucking needler.
Yeah. It's all
the purple. Oh my god!
The violence in the show's like top is top notch because like when he was done, he was just covered in blood.
Oh yeah, like
Which
I love they held that scene of his fucking fist covered in blood like a second too long, but it was one of those things where it was a second too long to the point where you kind of shiver a little bit because it's like fuck,
he
like
stands up covered in like purple and red and like um yeah, no, I'm happy. I was happy with this week, but we'll see what happens the next 3 weeks because
you're gonna go another. See, this is what they're doing. They're taking the Walking Dead formula, but stretching it out. So they go on real much excitement, 2 or 3 episodes of nothing, and then boom.
All right, because I have IMDb up right now. Ratings for the episodes: first episode 7.6, second episode 6.9, third episode 7.3, 6.6, and this most recent one 8.4. So that was like a big jump.
There we go.
People were finally happy with an episode. Yeah. So it is what it is. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, like I said, I'm excited. I'm excited for you guys, especially with like I said, like that. That felt like it was a much needed like kind of stress relief. Like almost you've had blue balls for like a couple weeks now, and then that just.
And he had his helmet on for a lot of the episode.
He did. I saw something online, and I wanted to find out who put it up there and smack the shit out of him. And they're like, "Oh, Halo's just copying Iron Man now," because it was when they were showing his face. And he's just beating the shit out of the Grunt, and then it goes to Iron Man, like, punching fucking Hulk in one of the Avenger movies, and I'm sitting there like, oh, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Like,
yeah, he didn't put his fist through the Hulk's head. He's not covered in whatever. What do you think, did Hulk ever bleed? What do you think his blood is? Is it green, you think? Is it purple?
I'm going to assume green. I'm going to assume green. Could be wrong about
Let's look up. What color is Hulk's blood? It's green. Yeah.
That's kind of lame.
Yeah. Oh, before he gets angry, when he is just Bruce Banner, his blood is red.
Oh, so.
But when he turns into the Hulk, his blood is as green as his skin.
New question then, if we're gonna go down this fucking route.
Yeah.
What color does the Hulk come? If we're gonna go down this fucking route,
let's see if it.
You're about to get.
Let's see if that's canon somewhere. What color is Hulk's semen? I'm getting a color chart of what semen is. Nope, no. Hey, I guess that's not. No one's ever asked that question.
John, don't Google that, please. The people don't want / need to know. We do though. We've gone down this rabbit hole now. Now we are at this point.
Color scheme is Android green and Rasmatic berry.
That's terrifying.
Those are his pants. Let's see if it has a color scheme for his. It does not have one for his semen. It is what it is.
Okay, so now that we're at now that we've gotten that out of the way,
yeah.
And now we started talking about the color green and changing of colors. Now let's get into the Batman. Batman. Michael Keaton.
I am vengeance.
So
all right, I want to know how you feel about it. Okay. This is what I've been waiting for all week.
So it took me 3 days to watch the movie. I'm going to say that first and foremost.
It's a long movie.
No, not even that. I just was bored. It wasn't like when I was talking to John today about it. I said to him, I was like, to me, nothing caught me. Nothing brought me into the movie. It wasn't until like
kind of like a Marvel fan.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know, just like nothing brought me into it. It was a very weird experience because like I've been excited for this. We've talked about this. I thought I was gonna really enjoy this movie, and I didn't. To put it blatantly, I didn't. At the end of the movie, I was like, okay, there were parts I liked and there was parts that I didn't. There was more parts that I didn't than that I did. But it was one of those things though where like I watched it in the first 30 minutes. Eventually I turned it off and went and took a nap, and then I came back and I watched Fantastic Beasts, and that's why I asked you about Fantastic Beasts, because I watched Fantastic Beasts 2 and I fucking thoroughly enjoyed that movie. I was like, wow, this is actually a fun, enjoyable movie that brought me straight in. Then I sat down and watched like another 30 minutes and I was just like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then last night I was like, fuck it, I'm finishing the movie. and I finished it. But there was like a good like 30-minute span where like I was on like the edge of my seat the entire time for like a good 30-minute span. But it was like it was already an hour 40 into the movie, and then I was at that point. You know what I mean? So, but there was one tweet. There was a tweet I was saying about it earlier. There was a tweet.
Did you like the highway scene? That whole thing.
That is the most overhyped scene I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm going to say that right now. I will say that the two biggest things that I will say, and this is the most controversial, unpopular fucking opinions: the penguin car chase scene, and all of the fighting scenes, overrated. Every single there was one moment that I thought was really it was a cool use of the character and just showing that he's thought about this shit before, and it was at the very end of the movie. Spoilers. He fucking shoots both the people in the legs with his grapple hooks, and then he jumps backwards and like fucking does one of these things, and then flips around and lands back on top. Meanwhile, dragging them off the edge. That was
very
cool.
Batman.
That was a very Batman tactical kind of like, but like all the rest of it, though, I'm just kind of sitting there like it.
Oh, he actually, now that we talked about like beating someone up too much scene where they're like, stop. He had one of those. He had one of those at the end.
And that's why I brought up the color thing as well, is for that scene specifically. That's not adrenaline. I'm saying it right now, along with a lot of other people. That's fucking Venom. He took Venom. He took the stuff that Bane uses. It's colored green. Adrenaline, I spent fucking an hour last night looking this up. Adrenaline is white or clear.
Okay.
The color of the pen changes. The liquid does not. The color of the pen changes. His liquid was fucking green, and he took it and he freaked out. And then he beat the shit out of someone to the point where he's like almost murdering the guy. Gordon puts his hand on his back, and he turns around and does one of these.
Hey, it could be.
So my
Venom's
thing is
not in DC, is it?
Yes, Venom, as in the symbiote, is not in DC. Venom is the liquid that Bane uses to become voided out.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So, and that's green, and the color of that is green. And if you look at the way that he injects it as well, it's like a little like tube that he puts on there, and he pushes down, and then it goes into him. Very much like the tubes that Venom uses.
Maybe it was.
I've seen a lot of people being like, "Oh no, that's adrenaline." It's like, fuck, shut the fuck up. That's Venom. Dude's drugged up because you look at the way that he acts afterwards. He's fully drugged up at that point. But this is like I said. He fucking. It's one of my favorite scenes of the whole thing because Gordon puts his hand out like, "That's enough," and he goes,
"I'm vengeance."
No, yeah. Well, that's the thing. And then the bad guy says, "I'm vengeance." It's like, shut the fuck up.
Well, there's that. So one of my favorite scenes is this when he's going to Falcone's apartment and they're shooting him.
Okay.
Do you remember that? And he's in the dark hallway.
Yes, that was. Thank you for bringing that up. Very well done, Batman. Like pure Batman. That's a pure Batman scene.
Also, that was all practical effects. That was all like real guns. Well, blanks.
Yeah, blanks.
And then like all like things shooting off of him. That's all was. That's none of that's like.
That's a very good. That scene. You know what? And I'm gonna refer this back to Batman vs Superman because it's the most recent Batman we have. That scene very much reminds me of another version of when Batman's going in to steal the kryptonite.
Yeah.
And he's like coming down from the ceiling and like picking people up. Like it's very much like that. Like it's a pure Batman scene. Just seeing him turn off the lights and go down the hallway, and all you're seeing is the reflection of the.
Can you hear my dogs right now?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, they're fine.
They're freaking out. Sorry.
But no, like that's one of those pure Batman scenes. Just seeing the reflection of the sparks, basically, from the gun bullets hitting him, and that's the only thing lighting up as he's fighting his way through the hallway. Very much a Batman scene. I fucking love that. But
that was a really good scene.
The tweet that I saw, this is it. The script is the weakest part of the Batman. I thought a lot of the lines were very clunky. I thought overall the pacing of the movie was clunky. The characters themselves is what fucking fully makes the Batman the Batman.
Uh-huh.
Falcone, I forgot what his name is, the guy that plays him. Comedian genius for years.
He's Jesus. What's his goddamn name?
Yeah, he's in every fucking Adam Sandler movie out there.
I don't know if he's in any of.
He is, isn't he? I thought he was one of the like, or at least he's in a few of them, isn't he?
No, I don't think so. John Turturro.
There we go, John Turturro.
No, he's been in a bunch. He's like another one of those guys that's in everything.
He's
Like
he did a fantastic job in this movie.
he was in all the Transformers movies.
That true. What's the other one I'm thinking of now? He was in.
He was at Big Lebowski,
There we go. That was the one I was thinking of.
and then they came out with a second one about him, which I never saw.
I haven't
always
seen
wanted
that
to.
either.
It came out like
Recently, right?
2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was before pandemic, like right before the pandemic. I think.
2019.
Yep.
The Jesus Rolls.
There we go.
Which is about him and his like illegitimate daughter or something. It's which I never saw. I always wanted to watch it.
But I thought he did a fantastic job playing Falcone.
He's just an amazing actor.
He really is, but it's like you very rarely get to see him be just
I think
a pure
he
actor.
won an Oscar.
He may have. I wouldn't be surprised if he did.
I know Barton Fink was a huge movie, and I think
At least, let me rephrase that. At least most of the roles that I've seen him in, he's not a serious actor. And that's going to sound bad, and I hope everyone understands exactly what I'm saying with that. He plays more of the comedic roles.
well, he was in an Adam Sandler movie, Mr. Deeds.
Fucking,
He was in an Adam. You were, yeah. He was the butler.
But still, like a lot of his roles are more comedic than anything. So him in this movie was like, it was very believable. He pulled off
Yeah.
he pulled off a mob boss. I think Penguin was great. They showed a lot of the two sides of Penguin, how he's very much like he's kind of self-conscious about himself, but at the same time he wants to put on the front of him being the big bad guy.
But also, he had a front of like almost being incompetent.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't.
Yeah, it's like no one calls him Penguin to his face though.
Yeah.
Like that sort of thing. Like that's always been kind of one of those ones that I like because it's one of those things where eventually he develops into just being like, then fuck it, I'm the Penguin.
Also,
and he kind of fully embraces it, and that's when he goes from like kind of the more of the not timid, but like the reserved self to just full on like, nah, I'm a fucking crime boss. This is who I am.
So like I didn't. So I went in not knowing it was Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
And then I went back and watched it again, and I was like, I could see it, but it's like a completely.
It's very difficult to see.
It's one of his favorite roles. He said because he's like.
Did you hear what he did the first day that he got put in the suit?
Yeah, with Jeffrey.
So not even that. So he went down to Starbucks to go get a drink, fully dressed up in the suit, and he went in and he went like, he's like, yeah, could I get? And he did the voice and everything, and he's like, yeah, could I get like a French vanilla venti latte, whole vegan, like that sort of thing. And like the person behind the till was like completely freaking out because they didn't know, like they were like, what the fuck, like, but no one knew it was him though. And he was like, it was the coolest thing because like. No one knew it was me.
Well, that's what happened with Jeff, the detective. Why I can't remember. Gordon.
Yep, Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, he went to he saw him on set and was like, "Who's this?"
Yeah, which remember he was
saw
like,
him getting caught. Yeah, he's like, yeah.
The fuck's so. Yeah. But no, I think he did a fantastic job. I think that Zoe Kravitz, is that how you say it? Is that she did a fantastic job. She did a fantastic job with Catwoman, I think.
Yeah.
It was interesting that they kind of changed the backstory with her a little bit with Catwoman.
Yeah.
But I understand with the movie, it makes sense with the way that they did everything.
Yeah.
Riddler, I thought I like that version of Riddler.
Okay.
So that version is very much a Telltale version. Yeah. The Telltale games turn Riddler more into like a Jigsaw sort of character, and I thought that's a very unique. It was when I played the games, even I said it. I was like, that's a very unique way of twisting the character to make him kind of fit more in real world, right? Like kind of, and that's a weird way of wording that as well. But like you can't just have a guy in a suit running around being like, hoo, What can you only say once, but not, It's like...
And Paul Dano he's great in everything he does.
Mm-hmm. That is factual.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else there was. Other characters that I liked. Pattinson...
The twins.
So it's funny. So I saw the twins, and they never said their names. But immediately, my brain... Because, of course, DC lore, I'm like, is that Tweedledee and Tweedledum? because there's twins in the DC universe called Tweedledee and Tweedledum. They normally work for the Joker.
Yeah.
But I was like, is that them? Alfred, I thought
he was too young and cool. I'll agree. That's my take.
There wasn't enough of it.
There wasn't enough of it.
And there wasn't enough of it, and like even the scenes where he was there, it didn't make me feel like it was a necessary character almost.
The only scene that like that had weight was when he was going to the funeral and he needed cufflinks, and he gave him cufflinks, and he's like, "Oh, what are you trying to be a Wayne?" He's like, "Well, your father gave these to me."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And he even, yeah. That's the only one I could think of that like.
Because I mean, because of course, like I said, I'm looking back at the other ones. You look back to the Nolan trilogy, right? Alfred is a primal backs kind of support character in that whole entire franchise. You look at the DC universe with more of the Snyder part of it. He plays more of like he's the guy working on all of Batfleck's.
I don't even remember who it was in those movies.
Jeremy Irons.
Was it?
It was fucking Jeremy Irons.
Okay, so yeah, he couldn't even told you that.
Yeah, so in that movie, he's more of he's the one working on like the thing how people like they hate his voice. It's like there's a scene where he's working on the voice modulator and he puts it up to a bubble berry bath, and he's like it's working fine. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with it. And like he's working on the car, and like you see him, and he's working on the stuff alongside of him, So it felt like he was of course, like we've talked about last week, 20 years in Gotham, right? They've been together for 20 years doing this. So, of course, now it's integrated, so they're both working together. And in this one, it just kind of felt like it was like, yeah, it's Alfred. He's there. Everyone knows who Alfred is, so, it doesn't really need to do anything or, I don't know. That's how I felt about it.
Yeah. He was too cool. I don't know. I was just looking up the twins, and
did they have names in the movie?
No, they're listed as the twins.
Because that was my thing. Like I said, my first thing was that they were Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Yeah, so they're both listed as the twin.
That's fucking stupid.
And
Gordon.
They are twins.
Gordon was okay.
All right.
Gordon was okay. I like Jeffrey Wright, but it felt like an okay role. It didn't feel like yet again it felt like I said, the script itself I felt like wasn't very strong.
All right, I actually have a scene. I want your opinion of this one.
Okay.
When he gets shot. Was he get shot? When he's passed out he gets blown up and he's in the police station passed out. And then he's like, punch me in the face. And then he's like, you could have pulled your punch. And he's like, I did.
Yeah, that whole sequence was kind of cool. The only part with this, though, and this is what I would say, though, the only negative and down part about that, so he he punches him, running through the fucking hallway, brings out his little wrist grapple thing, right, shoots it up, and he fucking goes up. What does every single cop in that place do when he's going up that thing? Pew, 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 pew. Okay, so then he gets to the top of the roof, and now he's got on the weird bat glider thing, right?
Which I heard is also practical effects.
Yes, I did too. They were going to do like a full, like he does the like glider thing that they have, and then they were like, we're going to do this instead. But still, so he gets up there, he puts it all on, and he goes like this, and then what happens? All the cops run up there and they just point the gun at him. Don't move! It's like, you motherfuckers were shooting him 7 seconds ago. Why aren't you shooting him now? And then also, when he lands, he's dead. I'm sorry, he's dead at that point. I actually, mid-film, kept going back to watch it. The way that he hits that underpass, he's dead.
Oh, yeah.
He's a human. He dies there. That's the end of the movie.
Dude, he's got a special suit. It's bulletproof, dude.
Yeah, that's fine. It's bulletproof. It's not. That's okay. And this is one of the big things about the thinking about bulletproof and just stupid. The whole highway chase scene was just kind of it was a chase scene. It wasn't anything fucking like. And this is the worst part about it. Why was his car there?
This is what I remember. I told you this is this is one of my issues I had. Like, original thing, I was like, how no one knows his car? It went, like, get turned
It
on.
is
Like,
the most like, and that's the thing, right? So like, you think about the Batman history, right? The Batmobile is always one of the big things with Batman, right?
yeah.
And you look at the way that they've all been unveiled to an extent. That was the stupidest one, I think, because it was like they tried to make it cool.
It was cool, but then you're asked like, did no one notice him pull up? What was like did how did like they he pulled up to a factory? Like no one noticed he was there. Like what was that was when we first talked about it originally. Or like the day after I saw it, I was
Yeah.
like, I have to spoil one thing, and that's what it was.
Like, and I think I said like, oh, well, maybe he has them all over the place, or I said something stupid like that. But no, like that was, and now that I've seen it, that was like I just think like there was so much overhyped about the movie, in my opinion. It is overall good movie. Obviously, yes, it is a good movie. It is a fucking drag of a movie. I said to John, with the Snyder cut, it's a 4 hour movie, but it doesn't feel like a 4 hour movie when you're watching it. It's very well paced, right? No, you didn't think so? See, I thought it was
It's
very
a
well paced.
it's a 4 hour movie.
So this is my thing. In the first hour and a half, that felt like a 3 hour movie, just barely.
Okay, all right.
Like, but like, and not.
I'm not arguing with it about Batman, but I
Oh
was
yeah,
like
no,
that. Well, no, but in my opinion, by no means was that feel. If they felt like both long movies, like just whatever, all those movies, it took me like the Snyder cuts took me two or three not tries, but sit downs to watch it
yeah,
because I was like, it was literally the same thing. I'm like, I'm gonna take a nap.
yeah. Like I said, this one was very difficult to get drawn into. I don't know what it was. Like that's the thing. Like I've been excited for this, and like I don't know. It was a very tough watch. And like I said, I went into this with an open mind. It's new universe, new everything. I like the characters. I like the people they brought in. I'm gonna say this right now.
Yeah.
The end scene with the Joker there. I like not even the deleted scene because the deleted scene is fucking stupid as well. But just the people that hate on the Leto Joker should hate on this Joker because it's just as fucking bad.
I think I thought he was the best Batman.
Well, I said Joker.
Oh, Joker?
Yeah.
I got you. My bad.
Yeah. Batman, it's one of those things where it was a very it was a very
Didn't like it.
No, it wasn't even I didn't like it. I don't know how to feel about it. Because there was moments that I did like, but then there was moments that I didn't like. Like a lot of it felt like it was very much like a lot of it just like in my opinion, it just like it like they were trying to make it feel cool.
I never, yeah, I don't look at him. So the thing about his Batman is like at no point did I ever think he was cool. Actually, my whole thing is that like he's perfect. Like he's like not perfect. He's like he's what I picture Bruce Wayne being.
Okay.
Like he was an orphan. He was orphaned. He's like has PTSD. He's like severe trauma as a child. He like doesn't know how to interact with people. He's not cool because like, but my whole thing is that like,
Well, I mean, so when I say
you can't just start acting be cool one day.
well,
Like that's
so when I say cool, I'm not talking like he's acts cool.
no.
I mean like when they try to do like some of the scenes and like how he walks in or how he holds himself or the certain way he says things. Like it like that was they were trying to make it like cool in like the way it was filmed. That sort
Or
of
you
aspect.
could look at it. You could look at it where it's very performative.
Okay.
He like as a Batman, he's performative because he's not trying to be weirdo. You know what I mean? But in sense, he's like being a weirdo. You know how like how autistic people have masking? Like he's masking Bruce Wayne.
Fair.
That's how I look at it, and I'm like,
So this is one of the things that I was intrigued about was so like of course with everyone knows Batman. Right, it's and this is one of the things I've always talked about with the legacy characters, right? And it's more so with DC than with Marvel because let's be honest, Marvel's legacy really a lot of people know it from the last 20 years or 10 years or however long the MCU has been around. With DC, it's been for a long time. So like everyone knows Batman, everyone knows their version of Batman, the story of Batman. So my thing is this: is that what's the story between Batman when he becomes an orphan to where he becomes Batman? Because that always changes. No matter what interpretation it is, that changes. So, of course, we see in Batman Begins, the Nolan version, right? He goes off and he goes and trains with the League of Assassins. And he goes trains with Ra's al Ghul, which is a comic book thing he does. He travels and he learns all the different skills. In BVS, we never got the opportunity to ever figure out what happened. But it's been 20 years, so let's be honest here. The 20 years is more kind of important than that part. With this one, with it being year 2, because at the beginning he actually has a journal that says year 2. The year 1 thing that I was talking about was the comic book.
Yeah.
They drew inspiration from that. But in the movie, this is year 2. So it's still early enough. So my thing is, like, did he go from orphan to staying in Gotham to, like, just be deciding that this is what he's going to do? Because there's no real hint of the League of Shadows or anything. Right,
I like it because it opens up the world.
It does. It opens up a lot of stuff. It was like that's the intriguing thing for me because it's one of those things where you see how he fights and it's very just blunt.
So I'm gonna bring up a tweet that I couldn't bring up before because you hadn't seen it.
Okay.
There was a guy complaining about, he's like, Batman. Well, Bruce Wayne is so stupid. He's just a rich guy. Like, he's so stupid. He messed up a Spanish interpretation. And then, like, you know how the murder weapon was a carpet setter. He's like, like only poor people would know what a carpet setter is. I'm like, dude, I'm an electrician. I don't know. I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, I had no fucking clue. I thought it was a statue. I thought that. Okay, that now that you bring that up, this scene where Riddler is introduced was fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Because you're just watching, and then the guy moves, and there he is. And I'm sitting there like...
And then he beats him to death. It's like very...
And that's the thing. When he beats him to death, that's what I thought he did. I thought he just like grabbed a statue or something from in there and just beat the shit out of him. I didn't realize that it was...
Rich people do have like weird statues on their desk. Exactly. So I'll give you that one.
Right? But so...
like a horse statue or some stupid...
I will give the person that wrote that, the idiot that wrote that tweet, I will give them the credit for the Spanish part.
Yeah.
But the tool, no.
Yeah, I was like, I don't... he was, and then there was one more thing.
But the Spanish one was kind of... That one was... But then also, I mean, like, see, this is the thing. This is where the middle part comes into effect, because it's one of those things where if he has traveled and if he has learned the skills to become the Batman and this and that, which, we see every now and then in different interpretations, he would know that. But if he just stayed in Gotham, why would he know that? You know what I mean? Like, unless he learned it himself.
Well, he wasn't... Also, the thing is, he wasn't completely wrong about the translation.
Exactly. He just had the wrong...
Yeah, so it's...
Like I said, that's a nitpick more than what I nitpick.
Yeah, and I was like that, like annoyed me, but I couldn't bring it up because you hadn't seen it yet. So,
yeah, that's fair.
I don't know. It's just also I remember what I was going to say. So the Joker, back to the Joker, real quick. I'm like I'm a little impartial there because like that actor is one of my favorite actors right now.
Fair. I think we talked about that.
Yeah, Barry Keoghan.
Yeah, my thing, like, at the end of the movie, him and Riddler talking was interesting because they recently did, God, I can't remember if it was called the Joker Wars or the Riddler Wars, or they did a storyline in the most recent comics with Joker and Riddler and Batman. Like, and there's a war between the three of them basically, and like at one point, like the Riddler goes to stab Batman, like Batman isn't looking, and the Riddler goes to like kill him, and the Joker literally puts his hand in the way, like, no, you don't get to do that. Like that sort of thing. So it was interesting seeing them tie the two of them together already. But I didn't like... one, the laugh. I thought his laugh was piss poor. But then two, it felt... It didn't need to be there. You don't need to set it up. It's the Joker. You don't need to set up the Joker. The Joker is a character that you can, like I said, the big thing with the Joker is the popularity of a superhero, but he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
You don't need to introduce anything with him. The interpretation of him changes, as we've seen with Nicholson, Leto, and Phoenix. Each iteration changes, but each iteration is still the Joker, right? It's just
Phoenix?
a different Joaquin Phoenix, the most recent Joker movie.
Yeah, we could go on about that because there's a lot of people that are like, there's people that say that's not even the Joker from Batman.
Well, that's a whole different can of worms that we can do a whole other.
I agree with you. I couldn't think of it, but yeah, no, that whole
But so for me, like the Joker's an iteration where it's like in every iteration other than Leto's, the Joker is the main villain or the main person, right? The Joker's a character that you don't need to introduce. You can just kind of be like, here's the Joker. You don't need to introduce the backstory of him because that's what makes him interesting. The interesting thing about the Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix is the fact that you don't know what's actually true or not in that movie. Because if you watch, there's different...
Curveball. We don't get a Batman origin, we get a Joker origin.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, there is no Joker origin, really. There's been a few different interpretations of it, but that's the thing that makes the character unique is the fact that, like, yes, people have been like, well, this is, like, in The Killing Joke, they give him, like, a backstory, right? He's a failed comedian who then, like, goes and robs someone, and he's wearing the Red Hood mask, and he falls into the vat, and then, like, that sort of thing. But, like, the thing that I find is the intriguing thing with the Joker is the fact that he doesn't have a true backstory. Because it adds more.
Maybe he's going to get one.
Well, that's the thing is like it adds more intrigue to the character, in my opinion.
Well, so like, so now the big question is like, what's DC going to do now? Because like, look at it.
With the Discovery. The funny thing is the fact that so Discovery bought Warner Brothers, and now it's Warner Brothers Discovery, and I think is it David Zaslav? Can you check that one real quick for me? The CEO of Discovery. I think I know his last name's Zaslav, but I don't know if it's David. But Zaslav came in and basically was like, yeah, DC's just... David, okay. He's like, DC's just not doing well. We're going to figure this shit out. We're going to bring in this. We're going to do that. Like, basically just shit on the whole thing.
Well, my thing is like all the money right now is in the Flash, and Ezra Miller just threw a chair at a woman's head at a bar again. Mm-hmm. So
and the thing that sucks with that as well is the fact that so the Flash movie, or as it's being known in the Twitterverse right now, the Flush movie, is being heavily criticized because they're trying to. The old regime of Warner Brothers is trying to remove anything Zack Snyder based and make Michael Keaton the main Batman. And if you've seen the Michael Keaton suit from Batgirl, it looks like something from fucking Party City. It is so fucking embarrassing. Oh my god. Like they put up a picture of the Batfleck suit and the Keaton suit next to each other, and it's just oh my god, it looks so bad. So the big thing right now is that like
Batgirl suit looks trash too. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm. But so it looks trash, but then the other thing is that the thing that I've been seeing online, and I kind of agree with it, I kind of don't, is it is comic accurate, and it is her making her own suit, so it wouldn't have the same look and feel of, like that sort of thing. Yeah, you just saw it, didn't you?
I see. Yeah.
How bad is that? Going from the Batfleck suit to the Pattinson suit to that.
Well, so like the Pattinson suit's like definitely I think the most different.
Yes, it is. It is very.
It's like it's more tactical than it is showy.
Yes, it's more. It's almost more. Here's the best way I think of wording it. It's more functional than showy.
Yeah,
right.
Because he's not like he's definitely heavy, but he's not like he can move completely.
Yeah, you can tell that he can move. You can tell that he has like his utility belt because he uses it a bunch of different times. He's got all the different gadgets like right at his disposal. Where with like Batfleck's suit, it's literally just the old man Batman, where it's just like I am fucking here,
Oh, another thing that I liked in the Batman is that it finally showed a way that he like got around from place to place. He just took off the helmet, put a motorcycle helmet and a jacket on.
There was a lot of things that I thought they did very well, like him moving around and everything. I thought that was a very good way of him, especially in the early days of doing this, because of course in the newer version, right? He's got the Batcave, he's got the cave, he's got the thing under Wayne Manor, he's got the thing underneath the Wayne fucking building, he's got all these different safe houses, later on down in his career. So early on, yeah, he's got to find a way to get around, and putting a jacket on and fucking throwing on a fucking motorcycle helmet.
So Brendan Fraser's going to be in Batgirl.
He's playing Firefly.
And then J.K. Simmons, which is
Yep.
now he's in both universes.
Yep. He was in Gore. So this is like the Warner Brothers, I think, has fucked DC to such an extreme level because of how much they hate Zack Snyder. Because if you look at any of the cassette stuff with Gordon, he has brown hair, brownish blondish hair, or brownish reddish hair now. In Batman vs Superman and in Justice League, he has white hair and a white mustache because he's old. They're like literally reversing everything for this thing, and they're doing it all just because of the fucking Zack Snyder hate. Like they're literally just, or because they hate him.
I'm looking up the directors of Batgirl right now.
Yeah, they put out a picture saying we know who our Batman is, and it's one of the directors looking like this, and he's staring at the Batfleck cowl. And ever since that look that you just gave, every fucking person hates them right now for that, because it's like, you guys are fucking assholes, Go out and say that, and then suddenly fucking Keaton's in the movie.
Well, so the one movie that like.
Also, I think Batgirl is going straight to HBO Max, by the way.
So that so it's a team. I don't know if they're brothers or.
I think they're brothers, but I could be wrong, because there's also a team. There's a team doing Blue Beetle as well, and I can't remember if they're brothers or if it's those two are brothers.
I don't think they're brothers, but they're both from Belgium.
Okay.
But so all the movies they're foreign movies, but they directed Bad Boys for Life. Did you see that one? Real piece of shit.
Great.
And made me, that movie made me upset because Bad Boys 2 was like a staple.
Mm-hmm. It just, like I said, what I would like to see them do, and this is the. I'll even say this. We got a little bit of time still, but this is going to be my controversial, unpopular opinion of the whole fucking night, and I'm going to go into depth about this. What I think, Warner Brothers Discovery should do, is hire on Deborah Snyder, Zack's wife. Deborah's been in the fucking film business for a long time. She knows the DC universe because she's been an executive producer, associate, whatever. She's been in and around. She's had her hands around it, right?
Yeah.
It would be very easy to connect what we have right now with the Snyderverse. Very easy, right? All the Wonder Womans still relate to the movie. They still haven't really changed anything where you would have to adjust anything. So even though we don't like 84, boom. Aquaman's are the same thing. Aquaman leaves at the end of Justice League to go see his dad. Originally, his dad's dead in Snyder's version.
Yeah, he goes to see Boba Fett.
Yeah, but in Aquaman, he goes and sees Boba Fett.
Sorry.
Shazam doesn't really mention anyone until the end of the movie, where they have like they decided not to bring in Henry Cavill and just have him from the head up. But so they haven't mentioned anything, so that's an easy one to bring into the universe. So like they have the pieces to bring everything in and still have it be connected without having everything to be connected. In my opinion, it's very simple what you do. And you know what? Here, even keep the Suicide Squad in there, and big brain here in a minute, right? So you have Batgirl, The Flush, Aquaman 2, and Black Adam. That's the next 4 movies, right?
Yeah.
You ready for this? This is the unpopular, controversial thing. Completely destroy the footage for both Batgirl and the Flush movie.
That's a big eat.
It is a big eat. So this is what you do. It's a big eat. So either one or two things. Either one, completely destroy them, or two, adjust them. Try to Frankenstein something together. And
I think they're just going to put them out.
I think they will too, which I think will be worse. But
I was just looking up the release dates on Black Adam and Shazam.
They're both next year, right?
This year. It says October for Black Adam.
Yep.
And then December for Shazam.
Yeah, Black Adam got moved up and Shazam got moved up. Shazam is up against Avatar.
Oh, that sucks because Shazam 1 didn't do that well. I take it.
I don't think
is that a safe assumption?
I don't think it did, but I think that across the board, I feel like it's like most people on the side, because of course, and that's the other thing. Warner Brothers themselves have split the DC fandom in half because of it. You know, it did it? Well, it's funny.
Actually, it made $365 million worldwide, so $100 million budget.
Okay.
So it is much better than I thought.
There was one that I've seen recently that says, like, if you look at the most recent DC movies from Man of Steel onwards, all the like in the top 5, it's all like things that Zack Snyder has his hands in, and then the bottom 5 is when they got rid of him, and it's like it's just not a good look.
What about so Shazam is probably my favorite one, and it's also one I've heard I've never heard anyone say anything bad about it.
There's a couple. There's of course. DC fandom. There's a couple that don't like it. I like it because, and I've always said this, DC does well when they stay dark. And I think that with a character like Shazam, people misinterpret what I mean with that, right? Because Shazam is literally about a child that turns into a fucking superhero. It's hard to have that be dark.
And then Mark Strong tries to kill him.
Well, that's the thing. You have Mark Strong trying to kill... Yeah, you have Mark Strong trying to kill a child. Mark Strong kills his entire family because of the 8 deadly sins. Yeah. And then also you have the whole darkness of, like, that scene is the most heartbreaking fucking scene in... I'm gonna fucking piss a lot of people off here. That scene is the most heartbreaking scene in comic books. When he goes as a kid to go find his mom, and he finds his mom, and then his mom's like, "Oh, I don't know you," sort of thing, and then you get the image in his head where when it's a flashback from his point of view, it's all bright and cheery, but when it's her point of view, it's all dark and dreary. Showing the complete different, like, that's the darkness that, like, it's like, oh my god, bro, like
so that was a very anime darkness movie where it was like upbeat, but then there was like when it got dark, you're like, oh
yeah, when it got dark, it was like it made you want to question things.
Like, I don't feel so good about this.
But yeah, no, so like I think that this Shazam, and that's the thing is, like, I think Shazam fits well in the DCU, in the Snyder version of the DCU. Now this is the thing is, like, then people go, okay, well, what about Matt Reeves stuff? Have Matt Reeves stuff too. Marvel has done a fantastic job recently of taking advantage of DC being like, hey, we're doing the multiverse in the CW shows, and Marvel going, cool, well, we do movies, so we're just going to take this and 2 movies, 5 shows, all multiverse stuff, there we go.
Shazam, top 10 grossing movie of all time in Russia, number 9.
I love that.
I had to throw that one out there.
But yeah, no. So like my thing is that, like, I think that what would be smart of them to do would be to continue with like Zach's main thing, because also in Zach's main thing as well, we would be currently at the point where Flash goes back in time and reverses everything. Like if Zach's full story had been told out.
All right, hear me out.
Okay.
I think the Flash is what. Especially with the whole time travel flashpoint, I think that tends to lose a lot of normies.
Mm-hmm. So this is what I think, and especially the way that they were going to do it. This is the way that would have been best for it to work. Is you have the Flash point movie basically be 2 movies, in my opinion. You have the first part of the movie being him versus one of the rogues, or 2 of the rogues, right? Because he has a very unique rogue gallery, and it's an easy way to introduce more Flash villains. Boomerang, Cold, Heat Wave, Mirror Master, Top. You know, I could fucking keep going on if I had the list. But there's enough of them where like you can make them fucking Polka Dot Man even to an extent, right?
He's dead.
He is now. But so like have them be, you know, so like that's the main part of the movie, right? And then at the end of the movie, have it be him talking with like Bats, or have him talking with Superman, or even with like Iris, and him talking about wanting to save his mom and everything, and then have him do that. So the movie ends with him saving his mom. Boom, he saves his mom, and now it's one of those things where it's like now he wakes up in that universe. And he doesn't have the powers, he doesn't have this, he doesn't have that. And that's where the movie ends. Because then you have a huge fucking cliffhanger, right? So then what? Most of the time between sequels is what, a year or two?
Longer now.
So, right, ready for this, okay? So let's say we go 2 years, right? So let's say that happens this year, right? That happens 2022.
Because if you look at it, if they hadn't moved Shazam up, it would have been a 4-year difference.
Okay. So let's say 2 years then. Let's go 2 years, right?
Yeah.
So, boom, that happens this year. Right?
Hear me out.
Okay.
I don't know if they're going to make another one. I think they're going to drop Ezra.
So, I'll get to that after this. Okay, because I have an idea for that too. So my thing would be this, right? So you do that. So now you have this 2-year span, where you have this huge cliffhanger 2-year span. HBO Max Flashpoint series, where each episode is based off of a different character, because they have the books that are like that, where it's telling you the past of what happened to Flashpoint and how Flashpoint became Flashpoint. So like Aquaman and Wonder Woman get married. Mira doesn't like it. Wonder Woman chops Mira's head off. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would like to see a cut off Amber Heard's head. And then that starts the Atlantean Themysciran War. That right there does. Superman, instead of landing in Kansas, lands in Metropolis. And then he's taken underground. He's thin. He doesn't need this little pale. He looks fucking weird. He's patient, or patient S or something like that. Like, so like you could do it, and you could have each episode or every 2 episodes be based off of these different characters. Thomas Wayne, we already have as Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Fucking fantastic actor there. The guy that plays yeah. And then Laura Cohen.
Comedian. Is that who you're saying?
Yeah. Laura Cohen, who's in Walking Dead. She is Martha Wayne.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan was in The Walking Dead too.
Yeah. So they already have chemistry from that. But she was in the Walking, so she was Martha Wayne. In Flashpoint, Bruce gets killed. Thomas beats the shit out of the mugger, and Martha loses her mind, and Martha becomes the Joker.
Okay.
So now you have a 2-part episode of a gun-toting, alcoholic, gambling-owning Batman, played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan, trying to figure out and like get in touch with his wife, who is now the Joker.
Do you know Marvel did something like this?
Probably.
They did a show called What If.
Well, yeah, of course. But this is like that. Marvel's What If was like just like a run-off random series. This is like a full this is the backstory of Flashpoint. So
hear me out. How do you get people invested in that, other than that aren't DC fans?
In this show,
yeah.
It's so. This is the thing. So to get them invested in the show, it's simple. The Flash movie, ends in the cliffhanger.
You got to put Peacemaker in it, dude.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's why Peacemaker was on the top 10 Mojo movie. Top 10 was it? Mojo's top 10 list of shows that you should be watching, but no one's watching.
Everything I saw, I thought it was one of the HBO's biggest shows this year.
So do you do the movie? It's the same thing. It's the same thing with the Marvel stuff. How do you get the people invested in the Marvel stuff? You do the movie, then you do a TV show for it. That connects the two. It's the same thing.
They already canceled fucking Arrow guy. Why can't I think of his name right now?
What, Stephen Amell? Or Hawkeye?
No, Hawkeye. They canceled Hawkeye, and they canceled another one. They're not doing a second season.
Well, I mean, that doesn't surprise me. They have other things they can do now. They're in the second, But like that's my thing.
I like Hawkeye.
I mean, Hawkeye. I mean, it's one of those things. From what I heard, it was a very good series.
Yeah, and Jeremy Renner needs to pay his child support. So
yeah. But no, that's my thing. It's like how do you get people to get interested? Well, you connect the two. But it's one of those things though where what you do though is if you did this correctly, I mean shit, if you did it correctly, you could have the fucking Amazonian Themysciran War as a movie. And you you could even do that. You could have the Flash movie end where Flash is now in the Flashpoint universe, and for the next 3 years of movies, it's all in the Flashpoint universe. And the show connects it because the show's telling the backstory. Like, this is how we got to this point in this universe.
Here's my take. We need a Marvel DC crossover.
No, we do not. We do not ever need that.
I think
it's happened. It's happened multiple times in the comics, and it's just every time there's no winner. There's no winner. There's no loser. They just kind of fight. They do their thing, and that's the end of it.
I think DC would grow DC.
So my thing is this: is that like it would, but then at the same time, you would have people literally just being like, "Oh, this is bullshit," because there's no way that Iron Man loses to Captain America, to Superman, because Iron Man is why's Iron Man? No, we're gonna have a fucking
Iron Man's dead, so we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, well, they'd find some way to bring him back because it
would be like Captain America. They'd be like Captain America beat up Superman. Like no, Superman.
Here's my funny thing with this, right? And this is one of the other reasons why I think this is like.
I just noticed you're wearing a Zim shirt.
My Doom
shirt.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, so this is one of the so they did it in the comics. They've done it in the comics multiple times, and it never sells well in the comics. But my funniest one that I like in it is the fact that Superman and Hulk always fight each other. And what it is the Hulk just punches Superman and Superman doesn't fight back. And the Hulk eventually gets tired and turns back into Bruce Banner. And then Superman's like, okay, bud, stop fighting me. Like, that sort of thing. Like, that's all it is. There's a lot of other things that would be better. And it's one of those things where it's the side of it where, like, did you see The Green Knight?
Yep.
What did you think of The Green Knight?
I liked it. I know a lot of people didn't.
Exactly. The Green Knight, Northman. Northman's getting either good reviews or shit reviews. But I
don't think Green Knight got any good reviews.
No, it didn't. I mean, that's the thing is that like
just kind of sad.
And this is fucking. I'm just all about controversial takes tonight. The MCU, the way that they've done stuff and the way that they portray the movies, and every movie has to be jokeful, laughy, ha hee hee, forced jokes, force-fed storylines. That has ruined movies because now the average moviegoer doesn't want to pay attention to movies. They don't want to sit down and watch a movie that's 2.5 hours unless it's fucking Avengers or a TV show that Marvel does. And I think that's like we're seeing it more and more now, especially with, like I said, with The Green Knight, with the most recent version of Macbeth with Denzel. I actually watched that and it was fucking wild. I couldn't believe it. The Northman that just came out, and then what was the one that I haven't seen it yet? It's the one with Ben's in it, Matt Damon's in it. Yes. Heard some great things, heard some bad things.
I saw a lot of stuff about how like the director was like, people don't want to go to the movies anymore, and then like Spider-Man came out like a couple weeks later and almost broke.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I need to sit down and watch that. That's all. I think it's
on HBO Max. It should be. Anyway.
Is it right now? It was, and then it wasn't.
If it is, you and me can watch it together. How about that? Because I want to see it too.
All right, we'll do that. Okay, we'll do that.
But so like that's my thing is that like they just kind of have. I don't know. I feel like they fucked the movie industry as a whole over the last couple of years.
I'm gonna see if it's on HBO Max. We can watch it and then go right into the podcast next week.
There we go. Okay, so now my take with Ezra Miller and Flash.
Yeah.
Very simple solution that no one's talking about. Like, literally, the simplest fucking solution and no one's talking about it. Very easy to either get him back on set for a day or just try to CGI it, right?
Yeah.
He gets lost in the Speed Force.
And just replace him with Grant?
No. Introduce Wally West.
Okay.
This is the thing is that like, and it's the thing that like, for me, it's the most annoying thing for every DC argument is that people are always like, oh, why can't we make Clark Kent black? Why can't we just put in Grant Gustin? Why can't we do that? And it's because we already have these fucking characters. Like, there is a black Superman, it's Val Zod, right? We don't have to take the TV Flash into it when we have Wally West, when we have Impulse, when we have Jay Garrick even, right? Have Jay fucking come up, and we have an old Flash now, like, that's like why the fuck am I here? You know, like
The Last Duel is on HBO.
it
So.
is okay. Yeah, like, so there's so many different options. My personal one would be to bring in Wally West. A lot of people know the character of Wally West, and it'd be a very easy one to do as well. You bring in Wally West, and then what's the very first Flash movie with Wally West?
Who would your Wally West be?
Right now?
Yeah. Was Wally West always is he traditionally black?
There's two different versions. There's the black Wally West, and then there's white Wally West with red hair. And I could even be wrong about this, and I could say there's two. There's both. So
there's two.
Yeah, like there's two.
Because like it's like Miles Morales. You know, like
yeah.
That's like kind of what I was thinking.
But like so like you could easily do that, and then the very first Flash movie is him kind of trying to figure out like where'd Barry go.
Yeah.
And that's a very easy thing because it's one of those things. Like if you think about it, like we said, 4 years, right? So even if we don't even say 4 years for two movies, 4 years, 8 years. So let's go like 6 or 5 years. 5 years for Ezra Miller to get his fucking mind right and to get mentally healthy.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough, especially in that. So like even if you pushed it to 8 years, right? Imagine that scene for guys like me, in like 8 or 10 years, where suddenly at the end of the movie. Suddenly you just see someone run on, they just show like the feet, someone runs onto the screen, and it's Ezra as the Flash.
He would have to do like a full Robert Downey Jr. because like Robert Downey Jr. was a hot mess and he completely turned it around. But like not everyone can do that.
Exactly. But then that's like, and of course I'm just thinking perfect world, right?
Perfect world.
Imagine that shit.
Because have you seen videos of him?
Yeah.
He's like it's like kind of it's sad to see.
Yeah. It's It's and that's my thing. That's why I hate the idea of recasting or doing any of that stuff when there is plenty of other options that you can do. Like there's no need to recast when you have fucking 40 different speedsters, you know?
Yeah.
And especially when for a lot of people, Wally West is the Flash to them.
Dude, just put Ryan Reynolds in it.
No, because there's been a lot of things. So Zach wanted Ryan in his universe.
Oh, okay.
Yep, it was gonna be him and him teaching basically Jon Stewart, and Jon Stewart is the main one of the main Green Lanterns for a lot of people.
Jon Stewart.
Yep, Jon Stewart. He's the Black Green Lantern. He was played by Wayne T. Look it up. Look up.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking like.
No, not like old white dude.
Yeah, no. I was like,
look up Wayne T. Carr Green Lantern.
I was like Jon Stewart. That man's old.
So the image that you're gonna see of him is, if you find the right one, it's him with the ring up and the light and the background looks like the Aurora Borealis almost.
There's a bunch of pictures of him. Oh, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was done in Zack Snyder's backyard.
I can only find like digital art of it.
Nope. You're gonna think that, and then when I send you it, you're gonna be like, "There's no way." There, I sent you it.
Okay. Oh, see, I couldn't find that one.
Okay. Yep. So that was done in Zach's backyard. And Zach. So at the end of Justice League, right? You have Martian Manhunter show up.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to be Martian Manhunter. It was supposed to be Wayne T. Carr and Kilowog showing up, saying like, "Hey, the Lantern Corps wants to talk to you," sort of thing. But I guess that's my thing, is that like there's no need to recast him when you can introduce a new character to people, right? And like I said,
yeah.
Everyone has their Flash, everyone has their Batman, everyone has their Robin, everyone has their Lantern, so if you were if they did it right, because I think that would be kind of, imagine that as a fucking like I said, as another like cliffhanger, right? Barry goes into the Speed Force, right? He's doing all of his stuff. He goes into the Speed Force to come back home, and like let's say like Reverse Flash like knocks him out of it, and then suddenly you see someone appear out of the Speed Force, and it is Wally. And Wally's like gone back in time, but now Barry's not here, so it's changed and everything's wrong. And
Well,
that's
they
how
need to
it
come up with
ends.
something because they have the Batgirl, Shazam, Black Adam, and Flush.
Yeah,
What else do they have after that? Because there's no roadmap really after that.
there is it.
So like they're like kind of unless they, I don't know, like
And
I
that's
know
well, that's
like
the thing
you
is like
threw up a bunch of options, but like
when that's the thing is like there's a very old. I wonder if I can find it.
did you see Thor, the third Thor? You didn't like it.
No.
All right, well you're not gonna like the new Thor then either.
Yeah, no, I know I won't. I watched the trailer, and the only cool thing about it was at the very end.
I think Daredevil's in it.
Jesus Christ. So what I just
Or
sent
Ryan
you,
Reynolds in it. Not Daredevil.
Deadpool.
Deadpool.
There's been rumors of Deadpool's in it. There's one scene where like Thor's in the middle, and then like what's the fuck's his name there's on like the right side of it. But then there's this giant gaping hole on the left where I was like, there easily could be someone that's just standing right there. So the thing that I just sent you, right? This will show you how crazy, how fucked up the DC universe is right now. That right there, that was the original slate. We had an original slate that went through to 2020. But Warner Brothers decided to fuck it all up.
Cyborg would have been cool.
That's the thing, right? It's like there's so many like I just yeah. But so with the Flash though, that's my thing. No need to recast the Flash. Fucking introduce Wally West. It's a very easy solution to a problem. Yeah. It introduces a whole new generation to Wally West because Wally West is one of the strongest speedsters. And like I said, everyone has their version that's like, this is my guy, this is my Flash. Like, I like Jay Garrick the most, personally. But like, the people that like that Wally West is their guy.
What do you think? What do you think of Ezra in Fantastic Beasts?
For the way that his character is, he does it very well. He's fucking weird.
Mm-hmm. He's weird.
He's weird. He's weird in real life. He's weird in the movies.
Yeah, and I'm sad. So I haven't seen the third one yet. I mean, you just watched the first two.
Mm-hmm.
I'm upset they got rid of Johnny Depp because I thought he was really good in that role.
Johnny, see, it was a weird one for me because I'm so used to, and this kind of is the same thing with like the Joker with Leto. I'm so used to seeing Johnny as the main character, being this overly flamboyant, kind of, happy, loud, hilarious character. And then in this, he's very much it was almost a methodical kind of the way that he moved, his acting, his facial, like, it was more of a method almost acting. And it was like, I wasn't ready for it to an extent, So I in my opinion, I needed the third movie with him to be fully sold. That's just me.
Okay. So I think they replaced him with
Matt Mikkelsen.
They did. Okay.
Yep.
Who? That guy.
Fox.
That guy's great. That guy's great. He was great in
Hannibal.
God, I never saw it.
Ooh.
What was the?
Don't watch the third season.
Actually, I did watch the first season. I take it back.
Well, no, the first two seasons are okay. The third season is where it goes to shit. Because the first two seasons is like, oh, he's in America, he's doing his thing, and then the third season's like, oh, he's in Italy for some fucking reason, because he doesn't want to get caught, or it's weird, dude.
I'm trying to. There was the game he was in, Death Stranding. God, he was amazing at Death Stranding.
There we go.
Yeah. I played that game for 80 hours. Couldn't remember the name.
That's because you have fucking Norman Reedus as the.
Who was also great in it.
Hmm.
And so was God, why can't I remember her name? French actress that's in a ton of shit right now. Léa Seydoux. Lea Seydoux. Did you see the most recent 007?
I can't tell you the last 007 I watched. I
Really
honestly can't tell you the last 007 I watched.
Did you see The Lobster?
Yes! Surprise! No.
No, man. Grand Budapest, Beauty and the Beast, French Dispatch. She is great actress.
Okay, I'll look up one of them at some point. That's my thing. It's just I would like, in my opinion, the Snyderverse is the most connected thing that the DC universe has had. So there's no point in getting rid of it. It's already the most connected thing. If they want to do their side shit and have that fail, then go right ahead. But my thing would be to just find ways to incorporate everything back to it. And like I said, a lot of the movies already hint that they're in that universe without actually saying that they're not in that universe. So it's very easy then to tie that in. And then instead of recasting Ezra, just find a way to get rid of the character of Barry Allen and bring in the character of Wally West.
How does what's his face? How does he feel about DC?
Who?
God, what's his name? You just said his name. The CEO.
Oh, Zaslav?
Yeah.
How does he feel about what, the DCEU?
Yeah, what does he openly spoke about his thoughts? Like
he said
future.
he said that the main two things he said in the last little bit since the rumors of the acquisition have happened is he doesn't understand how a company that has the properties of Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman are failing. So already you look at that, and all three characters most recently were introduced by Zack reintroduced into the universe, right? And then he also recently came out and said he doesn't understand why Superman has been on the back burner and not been in the forefront.
So that's good.
And apparently, and that's the thing is a bunch of the people that have been they've taken it's kind of hard for them to not look at, and people can say whatever the fuck they want. The fan votes for the Oscars, the two fan awards, Justice League, and then Army of the Dead, which Warner Brothers said no to. So Zack Snyder won 2 awards, the only director to win 2 different fucking awards at the Oscars by the fans. Now people out there say, oh, well, it's a fan vote, so it shouldn't count, or that sort of thing. That wouldn't have been said if a Marvel movie won.
Yeah.
And if people really gave a shit, they would have voted. I voted because I care, and I wanted him to get the fucking notification that he should have. Right?
Isn't that the whole point of the fan?
Exactly. It's like, and that's the worst part is that people are like, oh, that's bullshit because it's a fan. Why didn't you vote?
Yeah.
So
that's bullshit. And the whole Oscars itself are bullshit because it's like the people that are voting for movies didn't even see they'll vote for a movie the people in the Academy. So they'll be like, oh, this movie I didn't see the other one, so I'm voting for this one.
Yeah. So that's the funny thing. So this is how I'll wrap up my part of it. Originally, when they first came out with Movie of the Year, every fucking Snyder person was hashtag Snyder for the Oscars, right? Or Justice League for the Oscars. And then they actually came out and had to make a public announcement saying that we couldn't vote for the Snyder Cut because it wasn't a new movie. It was a directorial cut of another movie that happened already, like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So immediately, this just goes to show you how fucking this is why I like this fandom, is because immediately the fandom went, okay, if you want to play by those rules, then we're gonna go vote in Army of the Dead. Now I've seen Army of the Dead. It's an okay movie.
Okay.
It was fun. It was a fun, okay movie. There's no reason it should have won Best Movie though for the fan vote. But the fact that the Oscars literally said, oh, yeah, no, you can't do that thing. And then the entire fandom went, okay, we see how you're going to play. So this is how we're going to play. Just love it. But so for you, what is your unpopular, popular, what do you got to end on?
Raya should have won Best Animated Picture at the Oscars.
Which one?
Raya and the Last Dragon.
Oh, okay. What did
that should have won? Luca.
Yeah.
Wait, no, Encanto won.
Encanto?
Did Encanto win?
I have no idea.
Encanto won.
There was a thing going on saying that they should even just get rid of that award.
Which is dumb.
Yeah, it really is.
Because, like, I mean, I think Spirited Away won.
Mm-hmm. Watch. Everyone's gonna say it's stupid and that they should get rid of it. And then as soon as Into the Spider-Verse, which that one got pushed back, but as soon as that comes out, though, everyone will want it back. Watch.
Call you like that? Did you like that movie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything like those movies are well done.
There was the year. I want to look it up real quick. The year Frozen won. It beat out a movie that should have won.
Toy Story 3.
No.
Like how quick I just threw that one out there.
Yeah, give me a sec. I want to look this one up.
Yeah, of course.
Because I'm trying to look back because there's a whole thing. This is good. Shit, maybe it wasn't that year. You did fucking Frozen come.
While DeNutte looks this up, make sure you guys, when you get to this point, leave a comment down below. What do you think the DC universe should do moving forward? Do you think they should recast Ezra, or do you think they should go with my approach and just have Wally West become the new Flash? What did you guys think of the Batman? Are you guys enjoying Master Chief and the Halo experience that we are getting that some people are hating?
So it was 2014.
2014? So that would have been Toy Story 4.
Oh. It beat out The Wind Rises. That's what it was.
The Wind Rises.
Which is it was the final film
by Studio
Ghibli, but it was the final film by director. Why can't I remember his name? Hayao Miyazaki. I butchered his name, but he.
I've never seen a Studio Ghibli movie. Thank you all for stopping by and hanging out. We appreciate you guys being here and watching. DeNutte's going to kill me off stream. But as always, depending on where you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Stay safe, stay safe, and he'll probably talk to you later. I might be dead. Bye!